about you is that you have ambition to be great. My job is to coach you to get all that greatness out of you.
What is good, Fin Nation? What's good? Let's go. Let's go. Taking care of our own. If you've been following the channel for long enough, you've known I was a huge Rashad Jones fan, and it saddened me when he fell apart as a player physically and he wasn't able to retire a Miami Dolphin. Man, it looks like he's setting up to retire a Miami Dolphin. Personally, I was fine with the 1-year mercenary re-ups. But they took care of him. And again, I go back to the Ogba extension. The message McDaniel and Chris Grier are sending right now that's resonating through the locker room is absolutely huge. If you produce, if you give us top-level production at your position across the league, we will take care of you. Obviously, we still need to wait for there's going to be an out in some term. Now, remember, we'll get into the details here but a little bit. But remember, he still has 3 years remaining on his deal. So it's kind of a play off that. We'll get into all that. But obviously, the structure will probably come tomorrow. The next day, I'm sure Spot Track will be all over it. Until that comes and we see the out years, we'll have more of a grasp. Maybe it comes tonight. But exactly. I just right there. I'm going to put this up. You perform, you get paid 110%. Money Mike and Cash Grier says Rome Gray. He says he told y'all, hey, bro. I said when we hired McDaniel, and I stand by it. Now y'all know. Now everyone understands why I was getting so pissed off at the lazy Philbin, Cam Cameron, and Adam Gase comparisons with Mike McDaniel. He's nothing like any of those guys. Hell, I'll go even further. He's nothing like Brian Flores. And this defense is made to be intact. And I know for a fact when they announced they're sticking with Boyer, Ogba and Xavien Howard were not pleased. And I posted that to my Patreon, but I did say the same thing. Hey, it's a fluid situation. Heads could cool down and prevail. And I said on here and in that Patreon post, all it takes is Mike McDaniel sitting these players down. They believe in his vision. They're going to listen to Boyer. On offense, they're going to listen to Frank Smith. They're going to listen to their positional coach. You're bringing Sam Madison and Pat Surtain after, to make up for what was really pissing everyone off was Gerald Alexander was out the door. And bringing Madison and Surtain in is a damn fine consolation prize and a damn fine way of making up with that. Exactly, Scott. McDaniel is out here playing chess, not checkers, baby. Absolutely love it. Indeed, Byron will be moved by next offseason. You can basically bank that. They tried to move him this offseason. His little surgery that him and his agent decided that he had when that guaranteed all of his money, even with the restructure, kind of made it harder to move his contract this year. Next year, Byron Jones will probably be gone, especially now with the cap hit that Xavien Howard has this year. Money is about to be moving. Money is going to be moving. So let's get into it. Basically, what it started off with actually his representation, David Cantor, a guy who has a reputation for actually getting Dolphins paid outside of Miami. He posted this on Twitter. He said, congratulations to Miami Dolphins, Xavien Howard, on agreeing to an unprecedented new 5-year contract. Had this cute little graphic and everything like that. Even when there was doubt and I was reporting doubt with what I was hearing with you guys, I still said I thought they would get it done. They're getting it done. They got it done. Even when I was reporting to you guys, I wasn't hearing positive things. I was still telling y'all they're going to get it done. Now, it's a little bit more money than I heard he was asking for, but it isn't. And you'll see what I'm talking about because it's different here. So there you go. Record-setting extension. Well, what do they mean by that? Well, what they mean by that is this. So when you look at it, obviously, like I said, he still has 3 years left on his deal. People need to remember that. So it's a 5-year extension, but it's really 2 years on top of the 3 he already had. So what is this? So Dolphins, Xavien Howard, he agreed to a 5-year, $50.691 million deal with $177 extra. And the exact number, why that exact number? Because Xavien Howard had 3 years and $39.308 million left on his old deal. So all in all, he is now under for 5 years and $90 million. So essentially, it's a 5-year, $90 million deal. So let's I'm gonna read it to you guys again just so you can grasp it. So he had 3 years, 39 million left on his old deal. Okay. So he had a 5-year contract. So they added 2 years onto it. And 50.691 million is new money. So they've added basically 50.691 million and 2 years onto the remaining 3 years, $39.308 million contract. So it's gone from 3 years to 5 years, and it's gone from 39.308 to now the total over the 5 years remaining is $90 million, dead on. So yeah, basically, exactly, Brian. So now he's going to be here for the 2022 season, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026. 5 years. And then 2027 is when he needs to be re-upped. Going into that. Right? So there's more details. We'll keep going. I'm not done. We're going in. I'm showing you guys details by details. And as they come to me, I will make them more known to you guys. But I mean, can we really hate on this right now? I mean, like, I'm sorry. And the structures we've seen recently of some of these, I'm sorry. I know the structure's going to be good. I got faith. So, going further into it for you guys a little bit here. Xavien Howard, okay, so there you go. It's 50.691177 in new money. For new money, it's the average per year of $50.345 million on those 2 new years, the back end of the 2 new years. It is the highest ever new money average by over $5 million to a cornerback. He is officially the highest paid corner in the NFL. And I ain't hating. Global, the way this is, I don't think there's going to be any discussion now of, because if you look at his average, right? Okay, so let's take the total. Okay, let's take the total right now. So in total, we got what, $90 million, right? So he's making about $18 million a year. He's making $1.5 million more a year than what's his face? JC Jackson. It's about a $2 million increase from the $16 million he was scheduled to make this year. So I heard he wanted $20 million a year, right? So if it was by that, then he would have been a new 5-year, $100 million deal. So I heard their original number they came to the table with was around 16.5 million. So he came down about 2 million from what I understand, and they came up about $1.5 million from where they were originally at. So if you actually do this, see, the thing is, you guys are looking at the big numbers and vacuums. spread it out over the 5 years, he's only an $18 million cap hit over 5 years. And this is going to allow them to spread that $18 million over. So he's not $25 million a year. He's $18 million a year on his new deal. Got to look at it as a 5-year, $90 million deal from this day forward. Is that really that bad of a deal for him? I'm not going to hate on that. And think of it, if he was already scheduled this year to make, like just over $16 million a year. All you've done is taken $2 million off of your cap and thrown it on. So it's not like that 18 million is a new number against our cap. It's only actually 2 million is going against our current cap space number because he was already on the books for 16 million. So, and it's going to be interesting to see what the guaranteed money is. And guys, Field Yates makes a great point here that I got to show you guys. And again, the message it's sending from the top down to the locker room is what you have to appreciate. Guys, the Dolphins and Howard agreed to a restructured contract prior to last season with the understanding that a new deal would be discussed this offseason. Miami takes care of one of the best players in the league and has a core piece under contract for 5 more years. Now, I know he's closing in on 30. I'm not the guy you got to update with that. I know where that's at. And I know people's a little, because he's, knocking on 30's door. But listen, guess what? $18 million a year? Guys, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but I think he would have got more than J.C. Jackson on the open market. I don't think we paid above market value to keep him in-house. Now, could he have gone down a little bit? Sure. But it's not like he bent us over here. This is a very fair deal for X's production. Right? We're talking about the guy with the most interceptions in the league since 2017 right now. We're talking about the best man corner in the NFL. Probably the best baiter in terms of baiting quarterbacks in since Deion Sanders. Now, I know he'll be 29 this season, and it'll be about 34 when this all wraps up. And there's probably, unless he continues playing at elite level, there's a good chance he might not see the end of it, or it might be restructured in some way. But I'm not hating on it right now, man. This is a guy who, I'm sorry, he's a freaking stud, people. He's an absolute stud. He's one of the best players in the league. I want people to realize this. Okay? He's had 28 interceptions since 2016. He's missed time. But his 27 interceptions since 2017 to 2021 are the most in the NFL. And he's missed time in that. And he's had 15 interceptions over the past 2 years. These guys have given contract extensions to arguably the best wide receiver and the best cornerback in the league in Xavien Howard and Tyreek Hill. They extended a top defensive end, a top 10 defensive end / edge in the NFL right now, depending on your scheme, in Emmanuel Ogbah. They've severely upgraded the running back room. They've severely upgraded the receiver room by Lynn Bowden coming back and Cedric Wilson. They kept Gesicki in-house as a weapon. They added a top 3 left tackle in the NFL. They added a top 10 left guard in the NFL. They kept the rest of our defense intact. They kept Needham around. Holy massive W for this offseason right now. And restructured. So someone tell me that they haven't done. I want someone to say they have not had an A++ offseason at minimum. At minimum, an A++. Could they added a right tackle? Sure, but I warned all y'all that they were going to go with Austin Jackson. So that's why I'm not surprised, and that's why I'm not holding it against them, because I knew that was coming. Could they have upgraded Dieter? Sure, but I know they're going to add competition, whether it's Alec Lindstrom from Boston College or, maybe a Cam Jurgens from Nebraska. They're going to add someone, if not on the market, on cheap, then in the draft. You really, who wants to argue with me that this is not an A++? We had easily, I'm saying it. What, us and the Rams had the best offseason? Those first couple of days, hey, the Chargers moves all of a sudden don't blow us away anymore, do they? The Russell Wilson trade all of a sudden doesn't blow us away anymore, does it? The Devontae Adams trade to the Raiders doesn't blow us away anymore, does it? It's because when you look at what we've done, we've severely upgraded the offense and haven't even hit the draft, and we still got some picks left. And we got capital the year after to move up if we want. And we spent money so wisely. Unbelievable. Honestly, outside of punter, our biggest need now is DT depth, and we can get that in the late rounds of the draft. I think they need another linebacker, interior linebacker, which I think they're going to draft. I think they're going to draft a center. They're going to draft a punter. The Matariza agenda is real right now. And I do agree with you, DT depth, which is another reason why I don't think they've gotten rid of like Butler's $4 million yet. If they get rid of Butler's $4 million, that tells you they are in. And I think they're going to try and trade Devontae Parker for a fourth this year. And they're going to add another pick to the chest. And the Alec Ingold signing, exactly, Michael. Fantastic signing. That's, up until we made our obviously blockbuster moves, when you talk about new players we brought in, that was my favorite move. I loved the Cedric Wilson move. I liked the Edmonds move. Obviously I liked the Raheem Mostert move. I saw that, everyone saw that come from a mile away. But I loved the Alec Ingold move. Everyone remembers that. I'm sorry, man. This has just been a fantastic. Come on. I'm 36. Well, sorry. I apologize. 37. I apologize. I'm, feeling a little younger right now. I'm all hyped. So, but, I was cognitive of everything that happened in the 90s and stuff like that. Like, I remember Irving Fryer, OJ was one of my favorite guys. OJ McDuffie was one of my favorite guys, et cetera, et cetera. Guys, has anyone remembered an offseason like this? I mean, I remember the Ricky offseason where we acquired him. I remember when we got Wallace and Brandon Marshall. Has there been an offseason that's even come close to this? The Sue offseason wasn't close to this. Like, it's just super impressive right now with what they've done in one offseason. I mean, I know last season, right? We all like oohed and awed at the turnover like the Chiefs did with their offensive line in one offseason, or how they really solidified things around Burrow and Cincinnati. And now you look at what they've done and they're like, okay, finally, we got a staff that did the same. Like, we might be living right now in the most successful offseason. And I know I joke around and say, hey, there's no award for offseason and they don't give out trophies for the offseason. And I'm tired of winning the offseason. I want to win in the regular season. And that all still holds true. But goddamn, we ain't never won like this in the offseason. Holy. Like, check your pulse, baby. If you're not fired up, I don't know what's going to fire you up right now. I don't know what's going to fire you up. Because, I mean, hey, when you put things into perspective right now, again, shout out to the homie Field Yates for really laying it out for y'all. Guys, the Dolphins offseason spending spree includes the 4-year, $120 million deal to Tyreek Hill, 2-year, $50.7 million to Howard, Taron Armstead, 5 years, $87.5 million. Cedric, 3-year, $22.5 million. Connor Williams, 2 years, 14 mil. Look at the money they laid out. Look at the money layout. I know we all have our issues with Stephen Ross, the owner, but you can't have issues with how he opens his checkbook and his investment in trying to bring a winner here. Like, it's right in front of you. And we all remember the investment he made that second offseason, the 2020 offseason for the Brian Flores regime. You know, when we brought in Byron Jones and all the guys, like, he opened it up. And you see this now. I'm sorry. You know, I'm fine with making him, you know, and I do know he has the most guaranteed money for a corner in NFL history with this deal. That's already been coming out. So I don't know, man. Like, this is easily the most productive and the best offseason in Dolphins history we're witnessing right now. I'm sorry. All right, so let's hop into this. I want to show you guys this too. Barry Jackson dropped something just a couple minutes ago, a little piece about it. So I want to bring it over to you guys, show you guys exactly what he's saying. And Ian Baller. By the way, shout out to Samuel. I forgot to shout out your donation last stream, bro. Shout out to Samuel for that $19.99 donation last stream. Chris, I would have. Hold on, I'll address you, Chris, in a sec. Ian Baller, best offseason I remember since it got Paul Warfield. Well, I wasn't old enough, man, so I'll take your word for it, bro. I appreciate you, though. Oh, hey. Chris, I may be in the minority, but here's my 2 cents. Why not sign JC much cheaper and much younger and trade extra picks? They were trying to trade Byron. They were trying to have Byron and JC. So by your theory and what you're laying out, by what you're saying, they backed the wrong pony by what you're saying. Now, I agree with them. I would have tried to move Byron before X. And then the surgery, when Byron had that cleanup surgery a couple weeks ago, that guaranteed his money. So even with the restructure, it was going to be difficult. So, you know, they were trying to move Byron. They were trying to keep X and JC. They were trying to keep X and pair him with JC. So, you know, and he's only $1.5 million more than JC, and I think he's better than JC right now. But I agree with you. Like, I would have tried to get JC in the building because he's only 25. But Byron would have been the one I was moving off. I think their head was in the right place. It just didn't work out for them. If they would have pulled that off, it would have been masterful. Shout out to Orlando for the $2.79 donation. Appreciate you, my guy. I think we would have been nasty with him, you know. Anyways, the Dolphins fulfilled their promise to 3-time Pro Bowl cornerback Xavien Howard, and he and the team agreed to a new 5-year contract with $50.69 million in new money, according to Howard's agent David Cantor. The new deal replaces the final 3 years of his previous 5-year contract, which was to have paid him $39.3 million through 2024. Howard had 3 years remaining on his initial contract and was due to be paid $12.9 million in 2022, $11.4 in 2023, and $11.6 in 2024. Howard now has a 5-year, $90 million deal with $5 million in incentives that runs through 2026. The deal averages $18 million per year. The new deal gives him a new money average of $25.3 million for the final 2 years of the deal. That is the highest average salary for a cornerback in NFL history per Cantor. He will be paid $55 million over the next 3 seasons per NFL Network. Cantor confirmed Howard and the Dolphins had an agreement Friday night on his Twitter account. Said Howard will become the first cornerback in NFL history to have 5 years of his playing career guaranteed, although the next 5 years are not fully guaranteed. Per Cantor, his average salary per year under his new contract is the highest ever for an NFL quarterback. Howard now becomes the first NFL player to have his contract completely restructured with 3 years remaining on his initial contract. Howard is set to make the most money over the next 3 years of any NFL quarterback. As the Herald previously reported, the Dolphins and Cantor made alterations to Howard's contract last August, which resulted in Howard pocketing more money than he was originally due to make last season, mostly from incentives and guaranteeing more of his salary in 2023. Dolphins general manager Chris Grier acknowledged in February that the team had told Cantor last summer that Howard's contract would be revisited again this offseason. We had conversations with Xavien and his agent, Grier said in February. We've had them a couple weeks ago in person. We've kept those conversations to ourselves, not the press. Hopefully, we'll get to a resolution sooner than later. Howard has 27 interceptions since 2017, the most of any NFL quarterback, and led the league in interceptions in 2018 and 2020. He also led the league in passes defensed in 2020 with 20. This past season, Howard had 5 interceptions, including 1 he returned for a touchdown, as well as 50 tackles, 31 of those solo, 2 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, and 1 sack. Over the past 3 weeks, the Dolphins have added $316.9 million in new contracts for Howard, Tyreek Hill, Taron Armstead, Cedric Wilson, Connor Williams, Chase Edmonds, Teddy Bridgewater, and Raheem Mostert. However, not all of this money is guaranteed. So, first of all, the fact that we've added $320 million to the roster in the past couple weeks is freaking ridiculous. Shout out to Dennis. He says, I believe we will be grabbing a linebacker after the draft. What do you think? Teams will be releasing players then. I think it's smart to have money freed up. So if someone does get released, you can make a move like that. I think they're going to draft someone, but I do think if a name pops up and you have the money, go with the proven guy and let the youngin for 1 year learn under the proven guy. So I agree with you. If a name pops up, have the money so you can make the difference. See, but what does this tell you again? Look at, we're seeing the structures. I don't even need to see how the money's spread across. And I can already tell you this. This again reinstills what I've been telling y'all. They're living in a 4-year window right now. They are living in a 4-year window to win a championship, to win the AFC, to do something. They are in it right now. This team is all in thinking they can win in the next couple of years. I literally don't know what else to say to you guys, but this just reinstills how much they're all in. Best believe they're trying to win. They're not, that wasn't even a soft rebuild, guys, or a soft reboot. That was like, nah, let's go win. We can win. We've got the defense intact. Just upgrade the offense. And that's why they've been so heavy on upgrading the offense with the difference makers they have. That was their whole goal. Keep the defense intact. You know, all of you that said it was a championship defense, we're going to find out, because that's what they're out here trying to do. They clearly think they have the defense in place. We just need to make the appropriate changes on offense, and we can win something here. That's what all these moves are telling us. Whether you agree with it or not, I don't know what to tell you, but that's what their move's telling you. And here's what the Sun Sentinel actually had to say regarding the whole thing. Oh, sorry. I apologize. Let me bring that back up. Right there. Hold on a sec, guys. All right, let me bring that back up. I apologize. Wrong screen. This is what the Sun Sentinel, they just put out their article on it. And and this is what they had to say regarding the whole situation. As the Miami Dolphins continue to cross items off their offseason checklist, what was likely the highest priority item was handled on Friday night. Star cornerback Xavien Howard and the Dolphins agreed to terms on a record-setting contract extension. Howard's new contract consists of $50.69177 million in new money, according to Howard's agent David Cantor, who added that his client's new average per year is $25.345 million in the final 2 years of his contract. Howard's yearly average in guaranteed money is the highest for a cornerback in NFL history. He also makes the most cash amongst NFL cornerbacks over the next 3 years. According to Cantor, Howard becomes the first cornerback to have 5 years of his playing career fully guaranteed, and he is the first NFL player to have his contract restructured with 4 and 3 years remaining on a deal, because they did it twice, after also reaching a restructure last training camp when he initially requested a trade. Dolphins general manager Chris Grier said on Monday, when speaking with the NFL's owner meeting at the Breakers in Palm Beach, that the organization was closing in on a resolution with the ball hawk cornerback. Howard is a 3-time Pro Bowl selection and also has 1 first-team All-Pro selection in his 6 seasons with the Dolphins. He has also collected 27 interceptions in that span. Grier said, Xavien has done a lot of good things here for the organization. I've known him for years. I was here when we drafted him. He was my second draft pick here. I'm looking forward to him being here and helping us win. Howard led the NFL in interceptions in 2020 and 2018. Over the past 2 seasons, he's forced 17 total turnovers, 15 interceptions, and 2 fumble recoveries. Last season, he scored 2 defensive touchdowns as well. Under his previous contract terms, fellow cornerback Byron Jones was out earning Howard, despite Howard creating 15 more takeaways for Miami's defense in 2 seasons they played together. The Dolphins have been big spenders this offseason, as Grier has taken an aggressive approach after years of rebuilding through the draft. They gave up their 2 top picks in the upcoming draft to trade for Tyreek Hill, and then they gave him a 4-year, $120 million extension with $72.2 million guaranteed in that, making him the highest paid receiver in the NFL. They obviously addressed their offensive tackle need by signing Terron Armstead to a 5-year, $75 million deal with incentives that can get up to about $87.5 million. Ogba got his 4-year, $65 million deal before he entered free agency. Howard's contract concerns remained this offseason after he got an initial restructure in August ahead of the 2021 season. That deal only appeased what Howard wanted for last season, adding incentives that were largely hit by Howard. The impact Howard and Jones have on the Dolphins defense under coordinator Josh Boyer is immense. They're often called upon to cover receivers one-on-one in man coverage, which frees up the Dolphins to be able to blitz extra defenders like often they do with their safeties. Nick Needham, who had a second-round tender placed on him as he was set for restricted free agency this season, also is critical in the team's cornerback play, and the Dolphins have 2020 first-round pick Noah Igbenogany amongst their roster. I wouldn't hold my breath. Howard had his 2019 season cut short after 5 games due to a patella sprain in his knee that required surgery. He also missed 4 games in 2018. Since, Howard has played 16 games in each of the past 2 seasons, helping erase durability concerns that popped up earlier in his career. Howard was a second-round pick, 38th overall for the Dolphins in the 2016 draft out of Baylor. He is the second longest tenured active Dolphin to wide receiver Devontae Parker. So he's going to be the first longest tenured very soon, who was obviously the team's first round selection in 2015. So, hey, man, so by the sounds of it, if I'm putting this together correctly, these final 2 years are fully guaranteed on his deal. And we'll see. There's going to have to be an out here. But sounds like there's a lot of guaranteed money on the table here, because he's going to be the most guaranteed money ever for a corner, and as well as being the highest corner paid ever. So clearly there's going to be some real money on the books here. It's really, and like I said, he was already on the books this year for like 16 million. So, it's not like he's, not putting in the effort. You know what I mean? You see the work he does off the field. You see the results he gets on the field. But I'm saying right now, man, I'm just happy they took care of, not only to be, it's at a beautiful offseason when you take care of your in-house guys and you turn around and you add difference makers to the team as well. I really truly believe, that this is a season. Man, we're winning a playoff game this year, man. I just got the feeling. I don't know what to tell all of y'all. I just can feel it, like deep down in my belly. I can feel it. I want to open it up here because I do want to get some of you guys' thoughts on the deal here. Obviously, I want to give you guys the platform here to talk for a little bit. I'm just gonna open it up here for about 25 minutes. I want to hear what you guys have to say in regards to the X deal, because man, we took care of one of our own. And, I know a lot of people were mixed on X. Some people want him traded. Some people didn't want to pay him. So I'm going to go ahead. I'll drop the link. And let's talk about this. I want to hear what you guys think about the X deal. I want, now we can basically say free agency is pretty much rounded out. They basically rounded out free agency on April 1st. So, I mean, and trust me, I thought it was an April Fool's joke too. See, like AJ thinks it was a massive overpay. You know what I mean? Where right now, I mean, if you spread his money out, it's like an $18 million cap hit. I don't agree with you, but each to their own opinion, man. Guys, and smash the like button, subscribe if you're new. We're on our way here to 10K. We're about to cross 7,500. Smash that like button. I'll drop the link one more. I see I got a couple of you guys already coming backstage. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this, man. I really do, man. And I cannot wait to see the structure. I wish the structure was out. I really do. King Z305, Todd, Ian Baller, Crypto. What's up, guys?
I'm happy about it.
What's up?
Yo, check your fucking pulse, gentlemen.
See? This man knows what's up.
Hey, since Marino, he's going to be the biggest Dolphin that's going to retire a Dolphin from draft day.
We hope.
We hope.
Yeah.
Let's pray.
We hope. He is set up to retire a Dolphin because honestly, I will say this. If he stays healthy, I don't think he's playing past these 5 years. I think he'll done. I think he's going to be a guy that retires in his mid-30s and walks away.
Yeah, because his business is already opened up with his wife and everything.
Yeah, he reinvests his money and stuff. So I don't think this is going to be like a, I don't think he's going to come around and try and say, oh, I want another big contract at 34.
And reason, he's one of those guys with a lot of pride. He does not want to play. I don't see him wanting to play unless he's playing the way he's capable of playing.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, my only fear is that he would try to do this again. This will be a yearly thing because somebody in the NFL decides that they're worth more than Xavier. Then Xavier wants to repeat this process again.
I think this makes X happy. I think this is what sealed the deal with him.
He got everything he wanted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, he got more than what he was asking for. Remember, he wanted 20, wasn't it, Reason?
Well, the thing is, if you actually, by the way, just if you didn't know, Robert, your camera's on because I don't know what you're doing. But if you actually average it over 5 years, it's $18 million.
Right, but I'm talking about even with the guaranteed and everything, the last couple of years, he actually could say I was the highest.
It sounded like his cap hit in year 4 and 5 is going to be $25 million a year.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But the thing is, what's going to be happening is the money. The league, the cap is going to be different.
See, the Dolphins know. They know what's going on behind the scenes with the new TV deals, what's going to be.
Well, it's supposed to go over the next 2-3 years. It's supposed to go up, quote unquote, significantly because
over 200 million.
Over
That's what I'm saying.
The new TV money coming in and such.
They know what's going on. That's why they're structuring these contracts so it's going to hit then.
Yeah, we're currently at like 210 million, and I wouldn't be shocked if we get to like 300-ish million.
So, hey, Reason, I just saw something pop on Twitter that Tyrann Mathieu signed.
What?
Mm-mm.
No, not with us.
All right.
April Fools.
Hey, April Fools got me. That's fine. I'm okay with taking that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good deal.
No, but I mean,
I think Byron's definitely gone.
What's impressive is we've shelled out $320 million.
Oh, yeah.
Over the last couple of weeks.
But you know what's even more impressive, Reason, is the positions we needed.
Yeah.
It's not a waste of money.
Yeah.
It's
no
what
luxury.
we need.
Especially in the passing league. Yeah.
Well, remember last year where we ate up a lot of our cap with depth players at like $2, $3, $4 million per guy, and we just diced through our cap so quickly last offseason.
Yeah, that was
so.
Yeah.
But now it's clearly obvious why they haven't, for example, why they haven't cut Adam Butler and Rowe yet. They wanted to figure out how they're going to have to allocate all their money. So, and again, guys, if that $50 million was just tacked on to the last 2 years, X's cap hit doesn't increase this year. It stays at $16 million.
Let's go.
And if you do spread it out over 5 years, it goes up $2 million this year because it's $18 million a year, basically. So, I don't know, man. They made him the highest paid corner, and they gave him the most guaranteed money of any corner. And it looks like the NFL, be prepared, it looks like the NFL is starting to trend towards fully guaranteed contracts.
Ooh.
Well, we could thank Cleveland ownership for starting that trend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Cleveland.
Yo, who is the robot?
Whoa.
Did y'all hear that?
I don't know who it was. I was on mute.
Who went on here?
Yeah, I know, eh? But it's clearly evident we're heading towards fully guaranteed contracts right now.
Hey, Reason. You know, the Bengals went from 4-11 to the Super Bowl. I wouldn't even put it.
I'm not here. I'm not putting that out there, bro.
I'm not saying Super Bowl, but I'm saying at least a deep playoff run.
I want to win a playoff game.
With the right matchups, you can do it. You can find yourself there with the right matchups.
Yeah, but I'm not putting that out there, bro. We haven't even seen these guys on the field yet.
I'm getting sick, though, of everybody putting the Patriots ahead of us right now. They lost so much, and I haven't seen them gain anything, really.
I don't know, man. That's
the Belichick effect, though.
Yeah, but I've seen a lot of people in the media putting us ahead of the Patriots now. I've even talked about it on the channel and shown articles and clips where people call us the second best in the division.
Yeah.
It seems like
I don't know, bro.
Whoever's talking now.
Oh, it's robot. EM Baller, your mic. Something's wrong with your mic, dude. You got the 2-and-on effect.
Can y'all hear me now?
Now I can hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
I just turned my mic off. I don't know what's wrong with it. It always works. But, it seems like people are more split on who's second in the division. I think it should be the Dolphins, but our goal, hopefully we at least make the playoffs. And, yes, the goal is to at least win the playoff game, but let's make the playoffs and go from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I can't get on board with all the Super Bowl talk. You know what I mean? Not yet. I got to see them in action. So,
we'll know once the season starts what trajectory they'll be on.
You'll have a good feeling over the first 6 to 8 weeks of where we are.
Yeah. Or whether or not we could make a push in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I want to
who we match up well against.
I'll tell you one thing: we won't be 1-7 over the first 8 games.
Oh my god!
If we are, that will be an epic failure. If that's the case.
Yeah, I highly doubt that because there's no tape on McDaniel. You could watch some 49ers tape, but the playbook that he's going to bring, like Reason has said before, it's hard to, defend it because they don't know what it is.
Yeah, and you can clearly tell, he was still.
Can you hear me now? There we go. Sorry.
Yeah. He was still running his offense in San Fran under the guidance of Kyle Shanahan in the sense of, okay, you can do what you want, but I want everything ran this way, right? Now it's like, okay, I can take those fundamental concepts, but now I can run them the way I want. There's no restraints on me. There's no cuffs. And you could already see his vision is different because of all the speed he's added. This has never been added to a Shanahan offense before. From the back to the receiving core. So that's you can already tell he's got different ideas of how he's got a different vision for the base of that offense than what Kyle did. That's basically what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean?
He's never had it at the wide receiver position. He's only had speed at running backs.
The 49ers were the top yak team, and they never had this kind of speed. They had Debo and Kittle's fast, and Ayuk is pretty fast. But not to this extent. So just imagine if
They had no
they
four.
played the
They
NFL yet. Imagine
they had no 4-2 guys on that roster, and we have 2 of them.
Whew.
Yeah.
I think we got 3 to be. I mean, Mostert is barely 4.
He's 4-3. He's 4-3.
4-3-2. Fine.
Yeah.
But we don't really know what Waddle's 40 time is. We assume it's 4-2.
I've shown video of him.
It's a 4-3 at least.
No, it's a 4-2. I've shown video of him racing Henry Ruggs, and they finished neck and neck.
And even Devontae Smith said that he runs a faster 40 than Henry Ruggs. And
Josh Jacobs in Waddle's freshman year said he runs at maximum of 4.27.
And that was just the freshman year.
Because Josh Jacobs was in his last season at Bama when Waddle was in his first year. He was on record saying that, like, yeah, he's a 4.27 guy, blah, 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 blah. And then then I've got the video of Ruggs and him running neck and neck. And then Ruggs ran the 4.27 at the combine. And Ruggs said that 40 was slow for him.
Hey, Reason, you know what's so exciting about this offseason?
Yeah.
Is we can actually go into the draft, and we're getting hyped over them drafting a punter.
Damn right.
I mean,
we're not worried about all these other
we're more of a
starting
complete
positions.
team.
Yes.
We're not worried about all these other starting positions. Get the damn punter, we're happy.
Yeah, punter and linebacker, and we're happy. Maybe another depth running back.
If they draft Matt Araiza, I will be unbearable on this platform, bro.
Can you imagine?
I will be like, I have been calling their draft picks for 3 years, down to the point that I called a fucking punter. I will be unbearable on this app.
Hey, Reason, can you imagine teams having to go the length of the field against us on every possession because of his leg?
Well, I don't expect 70, 75 yards every kick.
No,
I think
but
he'll average 50 plus.
His average last year was 52.5 yards.
Yeah,
right,
but San Diego State was such a terrible offense. He had to punt long, so hopefully he just can get inside the 20 consistently.
Right, but I'm saying because of the shanking that we've had to deal with these last couple of years.
Well, it wasn't bad with Matt Hawk wasn't bad. It was Pilardi was a joke.
God, Pilardi was awful.
That 20-yard punt should have just kicked the damn ball and tried.
Should have just
Stonehouse is also
just thrown as far as he could and let it get intercepted. That's better punt than Matt Pilardi.
Stonehouse,
exactly.
Stonehouse is also a pretty good punter in this draft. There's a couple of them, but Araiza is the fucking man. I did my draft network or whatever. I did my first ever mock on them. They had Matt Araiza as the number 100 ranked player.
Wow.
I'm like, this is amazing.
Right at our number 102.
This is my agenda is real out here, bro. Let's go.
Well, the man, he punts, he kicks field goals, and he tackles.
Yeah, he's on record. He kicked
He's real good at tackling.
Yeah, but I don't expect him to kick field goals.
No, he's a raw field goal kicker. That's where he has to be developed. But he could be in a year. He could be your field goal kicker too. And then
get rid of Sanders.
Bye, Sanders.
Right, because the thing with Araiza, he's not a holder.
He's like a drop kicker, right?
No. Like he's not a field goal holder.
Oh,
yeah, so quite a holder.
Yeah, like you got to get someone as a holder if you.
Hey, groom your backup quarterback. You better be ready to be a holder.
And that's normally what backups do. Yeah, backup quarterbacks do.
Oh no, it's actually the punter does it a lot. The punter
the last few years.
No, it's been quite a while. The punter is the majority of the time.
Oh yeah,
it's the holder now on field goals.
I'm just saying the backup. Backup quarterback.
That's who held for the last. I mean, that's who's held for Sanders. It's been Matt Hawk was his holder, and then Pilardi was his holder last year. Yep. That's why a lot of people were pinning his misses on Pilardi not being a good holder, because there's footage of bad holds of Pilardi.
Makes sense.
$9.99. Watch Mr. Happy Friday, folks. Opening up a bottle of wine and dreaming about X picking off Whack Jones twice a year.
Hopefully more than twice a year, maybe a couple more times.
4 times a year.
Hopefully 6 if we meet him in the first round of the playoffs.
Dude, I hope the Patriots don't taste the playoffs for 2-3 decades.
I hope they do. And I hope they go in the first round against us and we have home field advantage because of how they play in Miami. And I hope we get to I hope our first playoff win in how many years is
against Belichick.
Against Belichick in the first round in Miami Gardens, and we send their asses back to New England. I hope it is, bro.
I'd rather beat them in the playoffs. I don't want to beat them in the regular season.
Give me Josh Allen or Mac Jones in the first round that we can beat and send their ass packing, and I will be happy. I don't need the Super Bowl in year one. You give me that, and you go out in the second round, I'll still be happier than a pig in shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will be true accomplishment, overcoming your division rivals and the playoff stage, especially Buffalo.
If you beat Buffalo in the first round and we go out the second round, you know they're going to gear up for a Super Bowl run next year.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, we're going 5-1 in the division this year. We're going to split with Buffalo, and we're going to sweep the Patriots, and we're going to sweep the Jets. You watch.
Reason. I want to be a little greedy. I wouldn't mind knocking the Patriots out in the first round, Buffalo the second, then we can get knocked out.
There'll be somebody like KC or Cincy.
I'm being consistent. Give me one playoff win. That's all I'm asking for here, bro.
As long as this gets the Bills, that'll be fine.
One playoff win.
I want to beat the Bills so bad in the playoffs.
Yeah, we just need to beat the Bills one time this year.
Yes, I want the Bills to be our big.
Even if they swept us and we still beat them in the playoffs, I'll be fine with that.
Yeah.
I'll be fine with that too.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? If the Bills sweep us like the Rams did with the 49ers, they got swept, but they beat them in the main game.
Bro,
they
can go 20-0 against us over the next 10 seasons. But if we go 10-0 against them in the playoffs over those 10 seasons,
exactly. That's why I'm good with that. Right.
We're winning the game that matters, bro. There's no trophy for a regular season win, bro.
Exactly. So, that's what the Rams did with the 49. We don't care if y'all swept us. We're going to beat you in the playoffs.
When it matters, because we got the
exactly.
Prove it.
Yep.
Bro,
I'm telling you, team 3 times.
I'm telling you, you know what the problem? I'm telling you right now. The reason why I know we're going to split with them is because our defense shut Josh Allen down last year in one of those games. Yeah, but the problem is, it was never about the Bills. McDermott had Flores' number. McDermott had Flores' number since 2019, bro. Since before Tua, he's had his number. That was the issue. Now we got the same defense. We got a better offense. We're much faster. They don't have who in their linebacking core or out wide is going to keep up with. Tre'Davious White can't keep up with what we're going to throw at him.
Especially coming off a big injury, like will he be fully healthy?
Hey, look what Tyreek did to Buffalo last year.
The Patriots got rid of their best chance to shut down. The Patriots got rid of their best chance to shut down Tyreek or Waddle and J.C. Jackson. What are they going to do?
Jackson, yeah.
They're going to get destroyed, bro.
They passed them on to San Diego and say, you guys deal with them.
Like, literally, guys are going to go too high on us. We're going to run underneath, or we're going to do, little swing passes out to the running backs underneath, little drags, little slants, just eat you up underneath. Then you're going to draw someone up into the box, a safety up into the box, and then you're going to try and press us, and we're going to go over top of you with Waddle and Hill, and then what?
Boom.
Literally, here's the thing, and this is what I'm trying to tell people. Even if you figure out how to defend us, the problem you now run into is two things. One, the wrinkles we have in waiting, because we're going to wait for people to figure out our base. We're not going to wait for them to figure out our exotic offense. So now we're going to throw wrinkles when you do figure us out. And number two, even if you do figure us out, what NFL team out there has the personnel to execute what you need to? Who out there has 4 or 5 or 6 corners that 2 of them run 4-2? Bowden was clocked in the 4-3s that perform, and Mozo runs a 4-3. So who do you got? A linebacker that can come out, and another corner that can run 4-3. Cedric Wilson, 4-5 combine. He looks like he's 4-4 on tape. Like, the thing is, you're running into a numbers game, and then you got to ask for it. Now you need another linebacker that can run a low 4-5, because that's what Kaseki runs.
That's what I was about to say.
It's going to be a lot of grabbing and holding. That's it. That's what's going to happen. It's like, they're going to cause a lot of pass interferences. Watch. We're going to get a lot of pass interference calls against us. That's what's going to happen. It's like
that's what's going to happen.
It's like when when we were on Miami Sports Music, you can say, well, you can bump and run. And I said to him, you can't bump and run us. The problem is Tyreek Hill, his release is phenomenal.
Double move. That's it.
So
40-yard touchdown.
Waddle's got a phenomenal race. And here's the thing. They've got releases when we ask them to be tethered to the line. What if we don't ask them to be tethered to the line and we are manufacturing the release and now you got to deal with that? How are you going to bump that? You can't do that.
Can't bump that. Right.
Hey, reason. Since when have you seen a team try to bump Tyreek Hill anywhere he's been?
You can't.
Bro. You literally got to hope you can mirror him and play the body. That's literally what you can hope you can do, is that you can mirror him and play the body and maybe outmuscle him. But for his size, he's strong as hell.
And you're not going to get away with getting caught looking in our backfield, or else you're going to be burnt.
You know what's
You're
crazy?
never going to be looking in our backfield.
People get caught at his athleticism and his speed. Tyreek Hill's one of the best route runners in the NFL.
Oh God, yeah.
And Jalen Waddle, I kept telling all y'all before he came out with Alabama, and now y'all saw it firsthand. Jalen Waddle is a damn near elite route runner. And that's the thing. We got this speed, and I go back to Tyreek, you know. People are like, well, KC with the speed. Okay, well, guess what? DeMarcus Robinson and Marcel Hardman, A, they weren't very good route runners, and B, they didn't have very reliable hands.
Well, you heard what Tyreek said. You heard what Tyreek said about Waddle. He's a little me. He's a young me.
Yeah.
That was the image that we visioned him in. You know, when we drafted
him.
him.
Yeah, and that's what the draft comparisons were to Tyreek Hill, because of similar skill set.
And the receivers are getting together in the coming weeks.
Yeah, nice.
I perform, bro. So,
like all of them.
Get that chemistry together,
dude. All of the Tyreek,
got to get the chemistry.
Guys. Yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
Even Devontae Parker.
Develop the chemistry like Peyton Manning receivers did.
Right?
Hey, I will say this: I've seen my girl's a KC fan, and I've watched a lot of stuff on Tyreek with her.
Yeah.
And he is no diva. He's a bust his ass type of player. He's going to be out there working his ass off.
You're going to be earning that money, bro.
Yeah.
We got no.
I don't mind him being a diva, but he's a teammate. He's a perfect teammate.
Buddy, dude, 6 years in the league, six Pro Bowls, first year.
Exactly.
Didn't have the receiving stats he's had the last 5, but he was still so good on kick and punt returns. He made the Pro Bowl anyways. Like, let's go, man.
Yep.
Like,
you heard what he said. He wants to do punt.
We added a top 5 player in the NFL if you exclude quarterbacks. I'm sorry. You just did. You added arguably the best athlete and fastest player in the NFL.
And
then on top of that, who's the only receiver you can make the argument that's better than him in the NFL as a receiver is Devontae Adams.
That's the only one.
And then reason. Then you got the younger version of him right across from him to learn from him firsthand.
Right, exactly. His mini-me is on the other side of the field.
Well, to learn from him. I keep telling y'all, that's why do you think they're sticking with Jackson? I keep telling y'all because Jackson has the closest athletic profile to Teron Armstead. They're keeping him because they think they're hoping Teron Armstead's going to rub off on Jackson, and that's what they're hoping. I'm telling you right now, that's what they're. I told you all since they brought in McDaniel, he was sticking around, and now that they brought in Teron Armstead, it just reinforces that. That's what their idea is. We can get something out of him because look at he's 330 plus. He moves to the second level in the screen game and open space the way he does. He's got fast feet. His footwork into his kick slide needs to be improved. Everything except his anchor, or his anchor will be coaching and partly him hitting, obviously, the gym and strengthening himself. But everything Jackson can all be cleaned up with coaching. That's the thing about him.
There's never been any question on his work.
We just never had the coaching. We never. Well, you see his motor on plays, right? Like when we would break down the all 22, there would be plays where he has his hands on his hip, and you don't want to see that shit.
You know, if it was
after the play's over.
But let me ask you this. You think Teron Armstead's going to let you get away with that shit on his offensive line? This isn't Jesse Davis.
Oh, heck no.
That ain't flying, bro. And I'll tell you this right now. You know how he works out in Allen, Texas with a guy named Duke Mayweather, who's one of the best offensive line gurus out there. And I guarantee you Austin Jackson will be there next offseason. I will put money on that right now.
Hey, Reason. The thing about Jackson, though, you look at Jackson, yes, he played miserable. But everybody played pretty much miserable across our line because of the coaching. They took a step back. Kinley couldn't even get on the field from the first year to the second year. It was all coaching. It was miserable.
Yeah. All right, guys. I want to get out of here because I wasn't even planning to go live, and that broke. But I'm gonna go spend some time with the wife. I'm gonna be back on Monday for my linebacker big board. Monday, I'm going to linebacker big board. Next week, Dante Colonelli is going to be on the show. I'm also working on another person coming on the show. And then I got a film study dropping for you guys next week on one of the players we acquired.
Yes, sir.
So big stuff coming next week. And then the week after, we're going to be doing centers. And then after that, we're going to be doing tackles. But a lot of draft content coming with you starting on Monday, dropping the inside linebacker not the inside, it's a linebacker big board. Dropping the linebacker big board. Then we'll have Dante Colonelli on. Then I have another film study I want to drop next week. And then I'm going to working on having another person on the show, one of the Dolphins journalists. But quickly, guys, any final thoughts before I get out of here?
Man, I can't wait for the season. This is so wrong. It's too long of a wait.
Yep.
Me too. I'm with you on that one,
Happy to
man.
get done.
It's 6 long months, man. How dare Grier put us through this torture?
How about you check
6
my
months?
pulse
How
every
dare
day?
Grier do that?
My heart rate coming in, my pulse will be checked.
All right, boys. I appreciate y'all for joining. I appreciate everyone for spending just an hour of your Friday night. I know everyone's busy. WrestleMania weekend, and go enjoy it, everyone. Listen,
Exactly. Stone Cold is ready, Reason.
yeah, that's why I'm not going
Coming
live,
to a
because
theater.
I know I got a lot of wrestling fans that watch the channel too. So
Yep.
I'm
Stone
chilling. So I'll be
Cold.
back on Monday. I appreciate each and every one of you. As always, fins up all day, every day, baby. X is staying, baby. Let's go.